One of the most important aspects of a claims-made form is its retroactive date. The retroactive date appears on the declarations. Only occurrences that take place on or after the retroactive date will be covered. This is step one in the two-step process of activating coverage under the claims-made form. The retroactive date is usually a date before the policy inception date, although sometimes it's the same date as the policy inception date. The insurance company underwriters evaluate the risk posed by the insured to calculate when the retroactive date will be. Now, referring to the diagram, we'll see that the occurrences taking place after August 1st would trigger coverage if all other policy terms and conditions are met. Occurrences that took place before August 1st would not trigger coverage, regardless of whether they meet other policy terms and conditions. Also, as you can see on the illustration, losses taking place after the retroactive date of August 1st and before the end of the policy period are potentially covered, whether they take place between the retroactive date and the policy inception date or during the policy period. This is step one. What finalizes establishing the coverage trigger, which is step two, is the loss report taking place during the policy period. If the loss is reported after the policy period ends, however, coverage is not triggered even if the loss occurred after the retroactive date. In other words, both components of the coverage trigger must be satisfied to activate coverage on the claims-made commercial general liability coverage form. So what happens if a loss is reported after the policy period? Well, the policy provides for two different options. One is included in the policy at no charge, and the other requires the addition of an endorsement and the payment of an additional premium. If the policy isn't renewed or replaced, or if a replacement policy includes a retroactive date after the retroactive date in the expiring policy, called an advanced retroactive date, the claims-made form contains a provision for the extension of time during which claims must be reported for coverage to be triggered. This time frame is called an extended reporting period or tail coverage. Of course, if the policy is renewed or replaced, the terms of the new contract apply, and any coverage that might be provided under these extended reporting periods won't apply. Built-in extended reporting period is called the Basic Extended Reporting Period, or BERP. It allows for the reporting of losses for 60 days beyond the policy's expiration date. It's also referred to as a mini tail. It's important to remember that the loss must have occurred during the policy period, and it must be reported within the 60-day time period for the BERP to apply. The policy period is not extended for 60 days. Only the period of time during which claims may be reported is extended. So let's take a quick review. If a loss occurs after the retroactive date and before the end of the policy period, and is reported during the 60 days after the policy's expiration, then claims submitted within 5 years of the policy's expiration will be covered, subject to the policy's terms, conditions, and exclusions. The Supplemental Extended Reporting Period, or SERP, allows for the reporting of losses anytime after the expiration of the Basic Extended Reporting Period, or 60 days after the policy's expiration date. Now, the insured must purchase this endorsement during the first 60 days after the policy's expiration, or the purchase of a replacement policy with an advanced retroactive date. The SERP isn't available for purchase after 60 days beyond policy expirations have elapsed. Once issued, the SERP cannot be canceled, nor can premium refunds be made. The fully earned premium for the SERP must be paid at the time of purchase. The SERP can't be canceled and no refunds are made. The cost of the SERP may not exceed 200% of the existing CGL policy's annual premium and must be paid in full before the SERP is issued. Now, it's important to remember that losses must have occurred during the policy period. The policy period is not extended. Only the period of time during which claims may be reported is extended. So let's do a quick review. If a loss occurs after the retroactive date and before the end of the policy period, and it's reported during the period of time covered by the supplemental extended reporting period, which is usually forever, then claims will be covered subject to the policy's terms, conditions, and exclusions.